Okay, so a couple of problems here that I wanted to work. The directions for this one say to calculate the flow rate and drops per minute using dimensional analysis. Okay, so the problem that I have is D5RL, so that is 5% dextrose in lactated ringers. It's 75 mLs per hour, and we have a drop factor of 10 drops per milliliter. Guys, this is a macro drop tubing. If you see a drop factor of 10, 15, or 20, that is macro. Okay, so we will always give you the drop factor for these problems. Micro drop is only one drop factor, and that is 60 drops per ml. So in the problem, you may be told the drop factor is 60, or we may say that the tubing is a micro drop, okay? All right, but if it's a macro drop, we'll give you the number because there are several of those. Okay, so to work this problem, this is the way we set it up, okay? My unknown, I guess it would help if I had the pen on. My unknown, and what I'm looking for is right there. X drops per minute, okay? And that's going to be equal to my drop factor, and if you work these the same way, you'll get the right answer, okay? 10 drops per ml. Of course, that's 1 ml, okay? Drop factor times my rate. My rate here is 75 ml per hour, and that's 1 hour, okay? Now notice automatically you see a milliliter on bottom and a milliliter on top. Those will cancel out. If I were to go ahead and multiply this out, that's going to give me drops per hour. I don't want drops per hour. I want drops per minute, okay? So let's go ahead and add another conversion factor. If I have hours on bottom here, if I put hours on top over here, it'll cancel. And let's do the conversion to minutes. So there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And now my hours will cancel. So everything is canceled except drops on top, minutes on bottom. Okay. All right. So whatever answer I get here is going to be drops per minute, which is what I'm looking for. Okay. Now what number goes there? So I multiply across the top. So 10 times 75 times 1 is 750. 1 times 1 times 60 is 60. Okay, so that's some number. If you put that in your calculator, you'll get 12.5 drops per minute. Okay. I cannot count a half a drop. Okay, so when we're doing these drop calculations, we always round to the nearest whole number. So 5 and above will round up, 4 and below we round down. Okay, or we stay the same, I should say. All right, so the point in these drop factor calculations, guys, is if you're in a place where you don't have a pump, an IV pump, you're in the ER, you're in the OR, maybe you're in a clinic that doesn't have IV pumps, okay? This allows you to count the number of drops coming out of the IV bag into the chamber of the IV tubing in a minute, okay? So this is 0.5. I round this up to 13 drops per minute. And that is my answer, okay? All right. So if I had an IV bag and I needed to make sure that this was running at the right rate with this macro drop tubing, I would count over 60 seconds that there's 13 drops coming out of that tubing.